In this training video, I wanted to walk you through the sources and resources that I would use in the Gospel Library app teaching Doctrine and Covenants and Church History. I'm going to go ahead and open up Gospel Library. The first place I want to take you to is actually the Scriptures. Obviously, the Scriptures are the main source for teaching seminary, and so Doctrine and Covenants and the Pearl of Great Price will be used this year in seminary. The Doctrine and Covenants, I don't know how new your scriptures are, but in 2013, there were more than 20 changes made to section headings of the Doctrine and Covenants. And I'm going to go ahead and put a link in the description of the video that will link to a site that will walk you through the changes that have been made and why, if you do have older scriptures that you're using to teach with. Let's go ahead and look at the seminary material. So we'll scroll down, and you'll see seminaries and institutes. Let's first look at seminary. So the resources I would download to your phone or tablet are these. First is the Doctrine and Covenants Teacher Manual. That's located right there. And in this resource, there's 160 lesson outlines to cover all of the Doctrine and Covenants and church history. The second thing I would download relate to Doctoral Mastery. Doctoral Mastery replaced Scripture Mastery a couple years ago, and there's some teacher and student material I want you to be aware of. I would download the Doctrine and Covenants, Doctoral Mastery teacher material here. And what there are lesson outlines for acquiring spiritual knowledge, and then the 9 gospel topics that are studied in Doctoral Mastery. You will use these outlines in conjunction with the outlines of the Doctrine and Covenants teacher material to teach throughout the year. The other thing I want you to download is in the top left-hand corner, it says Doctoral Mastery Core Document. And this is the student curriculum for Doctoral Mastery. It's often located in their student study journal, but students can access it there, and you will have a copy of those things. If you look here, these are the 100 Doctoral Mastery passages, and where you can find a list of them and by topic as well. The last thing I would download is the Seminary Learning Assessment down here in the corner. If you look at that, this provides study guides to help students prepare for the seminary learning assessment that they take at the end of each semester. Those are the seminary items I would download. Next, let's look at the items I would download to Gospel Library for teacher training. So in teacher training, the first thing I would download is in the top left-hand corner is the Gospel Teaching and Learning Handbook. This is the handbook for teaching seminary and institute. Your local S&I coordinator will provide in-service lessons and materials based off of the Gospel Teaching and Learning Handbook. I would also download the new teacher training resource here. What it is some at-home lessons that will help you get ready for the first day of seminary. It will walk you through the handbook and help you become familiar with the fundamentals of gospel teaching and learning and the learning pattern in teaching in seminary. One of the learning experiences I would suggest is number 14. It is the newest learning experience explaining doctrinal mastery, and provides a great overview and an understanding as to how it's to be implemented as a seminary teacher. Since we're teaching Doctrine, Covenants, and church history, one of the adventures and frustrations can be not having a storyline to go with the revelations that are received. And so let's go ahead and go to church history. And so to help you prepare to teach those wonderful sections, we need to learn the story behind the sections or how they came about. And so here's a couple of good resources that are new. So first off is this Saints Volume 1. And so this is a multiple volume narrative church history that is been released this year, and more volumes will be released into the future. So let's take a look at this. So this is from the very beginning through the translation. So this is the first part that's ready right now. And so if you notice, one thing that I've done that has helped me is I have downloaded the audio of this book and listened to it as I drive to help me save a little bit on time and to use that time while I'm in the car. So to do so, go ahead and click on the headphones, and then you'll notice there's a download audio button there. You can click on that and it will download the audio to your phone so you don't have to stream it while you're out and about. If you have a large data plan on your cell phone, then you don't need to worry about it. You could go ahead and stream. Either way, once you have it downloaded, you come here and you see in the bottom right hand corner here is the headphones. And then you go ahead and hit play right there, and it will read to you this wonderful new narrative church history. The next resource that is also fairly new is Revelations in Context. And what it does is these are a series of essays that have been written by church historians that will provide the background or context and content for the section. So let's look at this first essay, The Contributions of Martin Harris. So this essay is written by a church historian. It will provide the context and content behind sections 3, 5, 10, 17, and 19. And so this essay will have pictures and other ideas that will help you prepare to teach those particular sections of the Doctrine and Covenants. And it's a wonderful resource. You can also download the audio for this and listen to it as you drive. And also you can buy this book in print. One of the other fun things about teaching Doctrine and Covenants and church history are the questions that arise regarding plural marriage, regarding official declaration 2, those types of questions that are fun for them to kind of deal with as they get older. If you look in Gospel Topics essays right here, there's been some essays prepared to kind of help people think through some of those more difficult questions or things that they might not quite understand. So the ones that relate to Doctrine and Covenants that are important for you to be familiar with are, the first is the Book of Mormon translation. So it talks about the translation process as best we know it, the role of the seer stone, etc. The next one would be First Vision accounts. There are multiple version accounts from Joseph Smith about what happened during the first vision. And so that essay will discuss what the differences between the accounts are and why there's some differences between the accounts. You'll notice here there are 3 separate gospel topic essays regarding plural marriage and its role. There's one about race and the priesthood. There's also one about the historicity of the Book of Abraham, which is also a church history item as well. And so as you get to those sections where there might be some questions, these gospel topic essays provide a deep dive into those questions. As part of acquiring spiritual knowledge, one of the things that we want to teach students how to do is to use divinely appointed resources to help them study the questions that they have. And this would be one of those divinely appointed resources that build faith. You can also look at church history topics. There's some wonderful images and pictures. For example, when talking about the translation of the Book of Mormon, here's an article on the seer stone and what that means. There's a picture of the seer stone there, so that could be helpful to you in your preparation. Those are the items that I would download to Gospel Library to get ready to teach Doctrine and Covenants and church history. If you have any better ideas, please comment below.